Right, Bo, we need to talk about Operation, what it's called anyway, Operation Raise the Colours. Operation Raise the Colours. So we've been talking about, of course, we've been talking about this kind of quiet resistance that's been building time and time again. The protests are happening up and down the country. But this is, it's not going away. Like, it seems to be a really, there seems to be a reinvigorated national spirit, I guess, that people are sort of clutching onto and doing any means necessary to sort of kind of unify and protest against everything. I mean, it's a sign of defiance, basically. What's happened? I guess the latest, which I think is interesting. As far as I'm aware, it looked like it all kind of begun in Birmingham, but now it's just up and down the country. So, Birmingham Council has done two things. So they lit up one of the Birmingham Council buildings for Pakistani independence.
Of course they did.
Sure. Again, independence from who, I guess, and why are you here? I mean, you're not very independent when you're living off my tax, but all right. And then they did it for the Indian independence.
Sure.
But then they took down Union Jacks. And then people started putting them up in there, just like, and St. George's flag, St. George's Cross, up and down like streets and stuff like that. So that seems to be the epicenter of this. Seemingly here, England flags hung by locals who have been taken down, and you can see it here. It's beautiful, actually. It's really nice to see. We never really see this. Those watching from America might be really confused because America has their flag everywhere, right? Like, it's just everywhere. We don't, because it's being used as a. It's effectively the nation was gaslit into believing that it was a sign of racism. I guess that's kind of the best way to put it. So you don't really see it. Patriotism has been stamped out by and large across the nation. So now beginning to see this, and it's predominantly what we have actually seen. It's predominantly St. George's flag, right? That's what we've been seeing, because the Union Jack is very much, it's subverted already, but you can't take anything away from the English flag, because that's an English ethnicity. It's England. It's very key to a people and a place. And you can't subvert that, and that's the one that they really hate. They hate it. So it's beautiful to see. And we're just seeing it everywhere, up and down the country. They're just putting them everywhere. But it's not all roses. It's not all roses. Because you then get individuals such as this, who I presume is probably an Indian, because these people seem to be Indians. The sort of slop posters on Twitter. I don't know. He might be. But anyway, talking about the bloody Union Jack. No, that's not the one we want to raise. Actually, we should be raising the St. George's flag. And again, same here. People have sort of been posting it here. We don't need to listen to this, but again, it's the kind of Union Jack again, which sure, fine, I guess, but it should be the England. It should be. Yeah, I know. But it's the one that they hate the most that I think is the best one.
Yeah, right.
Because that's a true sign of defiance. So that's it, really. That's the news. That's and obviously this is the state of politics. So from a political perspective, this is huge. It's huge, absolutely massive.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So flags are a very symbolic thing, aren't they? And you're absolutely right to say that in England, England more than Greater Britain, in England, it's been stigmatized for quite a while because the empire, because BNP, because nationalism. Well, I think more and more people are not afraid to be patriotic or even call themselves a nationalist or something. I'm certainly not. I'm part of this nation and not remotely ashamed of its past or heritage or anything. Proud of it, actually. or nearly all of it. There's not a single country in the world that has got something in their past, which is a bit nasty and mean. But whatever. I'm proud to be British. I'm extremely proud to be English. And yeah, there's that Emily Thornberry effect, where just simply flying the St George's flag, St George's Cross, is tantamount to being a Nazi. Well, I think a lot of people now are roundly rejecting that. Just complete normies, just complete mainstream media watching, Radio 4 listening normies are beginning to reject that for the nonsense it is, straightforwardly nonsense. And it's interesting to say about in other countries. Yeah, if you go to America, I've been to America, and people have an American flag just outside their house sometimes. And in a lot of other countries, if you ever go to Ireland, have you ever been to Northern Ireland or Ireland?
No, something I've never been. No,
They
never.
have all sorts of
No way
flags.
there.
I once went to County Donegal. It's in the Republic of Ireland, but it's in the north of the island of Ireland. And everyone's got a flag. They've either got an Irish flag or like an actual County Donegal flag outside the house. You see them everywhere. You go down the road and like more than half of the houses have got it. It's just completely normal to them. It's like having a garden gnome or something. You just have a flag in your front garden. It's just de rigueur. Well, I think the fact that we've been just gaslit over decades into believing that any sort of pride in your own country is just wrong-headed, if not evil. I think that entire narrative, that entire way of thinking is breaking down because people see that it just leads to being demographically replaced and raped and insane crime from foreign people that have just come over or whatever it is. So, it's great to see. I do consider myself, and I know you do as well, Nate, I do consider myself an Englishman first and foremost.
Yes. Oh, yes.
I do consider Britain to be a construct that's only a couple 100 years old, 300 years old.
Yeah.
But okay, I'm still the Union flag, even though I didn't set up this studio. I'm still fine with the Union flag. Happy to fly it. But the St George's flag is the first and foremost thing. I am English first. And yeah, you're quite right. They hate it. The Emily Thornberrys of this world. The Zara
Just any
Sultana
of the
of this
political
world.
class. Any of them.
Yeah, any of them. Any of them. If you're not fully right-leaning, they hate it. And so, and the thing is, it has survived through like the worst of it, through the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and the early 21st century because of the England football team. Whenever there's a big tournament, the European Cup or the World Cup, because that team is purely English, not British, it's not a Team GB football team, it's England. People would always fly the flag every 2 years. Look, all football fans would fly an England flag quite often and put a sticker on your car or whatever it is. So it sort of survived the worst decades through that, I think. Like you were able to get away with it a bit. Like I remember just an anecdotal thing, just completely anecdotal. When I was a teenager doing my A-levels, in my bedroom, I had a St George's flag just tacked to the ceiling. Right, put up posters, don't you, when you're a kid? And I did that. I had that, and I remember some people, because I remember a few friends saying, "Oh, why have you got that?" And I'm like, "What? What's the problem? Why wouldn't I? I'm English, proud to be English. What's the problem?" And they didn't. It didn't go anything beyond that. I didn't get chewed out for it. I certainly didn't get bullied or anything remotely like that. But the fact that there's even a question, like a little bit of disdain, a little bit like, "Ooh, really? An England flag? Ooh." I hope that is going away. Only hardcore commies will still think like that. I hope.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I mean, so there's so many ways to kind of look at this. I mean, the very fact that English people up and down the country have been, and again, yeah, you are completely right. Like when people ask me who I am, what I am, I'm an Englishman. I'm not British. I'm an Englishman. I'm English. First and foremost, I am an Englishman. And I think that's really important to me anyways. It's super, super important to me because I feel like the union itself is part of the subversive managerial state. in terms of how it's complete, how all of it's set up is complete just subversion. You know, and I don't have disdain for the Union Jack at all, but I do think in terms of symbolism, the Union Jack is much more subverted. It's used, you know, by on a more globalist stage, and very much more UK, as opposed to the St George's flag, which is it's loathed, it's hated, and it is loathed and hated because of what it represents. It represents a people tied to a place, and the people that fly it own it. They have jurisdiction over that locale. It's theirs, right? It's mine. It's yours. It is ours. We are English, therefore we are the proprietors of England. It is ours, and that's why it's hated, and that's why I love to see it, because of what it's representing and the people that are flying it now. You know, it is that quiet contempt rising to the surface more and more. It's also and people, you know, in power should take heed of this. It's a quiet statement of dominance, right? This is ours. This is our country. This is ours, and that's really important because that's something which we haven't seen happen before. This is all very, very new. And again, I know may seem really weird for Americans watching this, being like, "What? This is new." No, it really is to see them up and down the street everywhere. They're putting them everywhere. Like, it's a pretty huge thing now. This is very, very new, but it's a statement of dominance. It's the people of the land saying, "No, this is our land. This is ours. You are here, but it's ours." And so the people in power really should take note of that. I feel, because a quiet statement of dominance will always effectively precede further statements of dominance, which, yeah, the quiet ones should be noticed and heeded. You know, and those in power should act upon that as opposed to letting things spiral even further for the other statements of dominance.
Yeah, they should get this through their thick commie skulls that we're not going away. We're not going to disappear. You want us to just disappear? Well, we're not going to just disappear. It doesn't work like that. So get used to it.
Yeah, I love the fact that it happened in Birmingham as well, where that's like the epicenter of it all. Because Birmingham, for those that don't know, Birmingham's just not. It's just not English anymore. It just isn't. Very small pockets, obviously, but it's so egregious that the council was like, "Yes, fine, we'll fly stuff for like Pakistani independence. Yeah, we'll fly stuff for Indian independence." And then they're like, "But you can't have these England flags. You can't have that." And the reasons that they gave, absolute garbage, right? Absolute garbage. People who attach unauthorized items to lampposts could be putting their lives and those of motorists and pedestrians at risk.
Well, fuck off.
No one believes this. No one believes this at all. They're to remove 200 banners and flags. 200. That's a lot.
Oh, but flying a Palestinian flag off the back of a moped, that's
fine.
not dangerous. That's not dangerous, apparently.
Do you remember when those Albanians drove all the way around set at the centre of London with flags hanging out their cars and literally hanging out the car? Do you remember that? I remember that for Albanians.
Yeah.
That was fine. We'll just leave them to do that. No worries, mate. But this.
And just to say, it's not just Birmingham. It's all over the country where they'll put up Pakistani flags or Indian flags or whatever it is, Palestinian flags, whatever it is, all over the place. You're expected to just accept it, but not a St George's Cross or a Union Jack. It's such nonsense. These are such traitors.
Yeah.
I saw a little clip a few weeks ago where someone had painted on the side of a cliff face, so massive on the side of a cliff in Ireland somewhere. They'd painted the Palestinian colours, and someone had come along and painted over it with the Irish colours. And it was just great. It was just great to see. It was like, 'cause it was massive. It was like a whole small cliff overlooking a town or something.
Mm.
Um,
Look
and
at
it's
this,
actually
though.
quite easy to do the St George's flag, right? You just whitewash something, the two massive red lines. It's actually quite straightforward as well.
If someone was really smart, if anyone was watching and they were really smart, and you were able to do it in some form of logistics, you could easily do the St George's flag on the White Cliffs of Dover. Now, I'm not suggesting, but I am saying that it would look beautiful, especially to the individuals that keep popping up on the shore. That would be a very, very nice symbol for them to rock up and see.
Yep.
Maybe.
We don't advocate for any sort of criminal damage or vandalism, but it would look cool.
It would look, and they're already white.
Right, yeah. You
So
just need
a
the red paint.
cross. Just the red cross. But look at this. How epic does this look?
Nice, isn't it? Yeah.
Looks brilliant.
Yeah.
Super nice to see. So there you go. There you go. We'll have to wait and see the sort of leftist meltdown for this. But yeah, the thing that we've been saying for a while, the English have awakened.
Mm.
Certainly have.